Are we live? Good morning, everybody. I think we're live. Let me just make sure this is working. I don't know whether that's worked on Facebook today. I think I am live. I am live indeed. Well, good morning to everybody. I apologise, Facebook, because I don't think your comments are going to come up today. I have no idea why this hasn't worked. But look, good morning to everybody who can hear me. I think I am live. Why has that not worked there? Live with restream. Stream not found. Oh, in there. Yeah, no idea. Chat's not working there, but luckily the chat is working on YouTube. I can see the YouTube chat. I apologise to everyone on Facebook today. It is what it is. But look, we're here to talk about plenty of things. Bruno speaking on Man United's identity and approach under Erik Ten Hag in quite a bit of detail, actually. I think more detail than I've ever heard Bruno Fernandes speak on it, really. Spoke about it out on international duty. We're going to speak about Kobby Mainoo. I mean, we've only mentioned Kobby Mainoo a couple of times in the last couple of days. But he's had a fair amount of interviews, really. He's aiming for a place in the Euro 2024 squad. We did a poll yesterday. I think a resounding 89% of you thought that he was going to be part of that squad. I think I agree with you as well. We'll see. We're going to speak about Manchester United's transfers. I did my video yesterday. Little conversation around that. And a little conversation around Manchester United's identity, which I think will be an interesting one to do. But look, who's here from the member gang? Let's have a quick look. I have no idea why that's not worked there. The beauty of technology, right? I can see the YouTube comments. Apologise to everyone on Facebook. It's just not popped up. It's just not worked. Absolutely just no idea why. Not worked. Event not started. Stream not found. Thanks very much. Shax, how you doing, man? Gifting 5 memberships to kick off the show. 5 more of you invited into the Discord. Make sure you join. Working really, really bloody hard on the new merch. I've been saying that for a long time, and it might kind of sound like lip service, but it really is going to be, in my opinion, of course, my opinion is completely biased. I think it's going to be the most cool, that's the buzzword about the merch. It's going to be cool. Actually wearable away from a game of football, or wearable in the pub, I think, anyway. Niall, good morning to you. Maddie, good morning to you. Moncton. We've got Brooklyn, we've got Josh, Saeed, Teresa, Stuart, Gungshi, how you doing, man? T, got Carl, Manuel, plenty of mods, plenty of regulars, plenty of new faces. Let's get into the show. And I want to speak about this right at the start of the show. Has anybody seen how deeply offended Millwall Dave is about this? How dare you? How dare you change the colours of the St. George's flag? How dare you? Man, people love getting offended by anything and everything, don't they? It's like the EDL just like came out in like load of the shotguns and just attacked Nike for that. It's like, boy. So yeah, Millwall Dave, if you're watching, mate, calm down. Calm down. Wayne, you're still wearing the old merch. My God, this is part of the new one, actually. It's embroidered. That's such a cool little touch. It just gives it that extra feeling of quality. So there's some embroidered versions that we're going to be releasing. Jonesy, it's a bit weird, to be fair. Why change the colours? Dude, it's the exact same on the front of the shirt. It's just a little touch on the back of the shirt. Ricky, I think it feels more like the rainbow is being pushed on us more and more. Apart from the fact, go back and I think I saw, what is it, on Twitter this morning, back in 2011 when there were multicoloured crosses dotted all over the collar, the shoulder of the English shirt. Not much offence caused there. Anyway, Millwall Dave, cheer up, mate. Cheer up, mate. Speaking of people cheering up, anybody seen Jamie Carragher? I'm looking at the Stick to Football lineup there. I see Jill Scott, I see Gary Neville, I see Roy Keane, I see Ian Wright. Where's, am I just missing something? Can I zoom in a bit there? Is he over there? No, he's not over there. He's over there. No, he's not over there. Anybody have any idea where Jamie Carragher is? Hiding! That's where he is. Gone missing. Oh, man, Roy Keane and Gary Neville would have ripped him to shreds. Should have photoshopped Jamie Carragher onto Keane's shirt. That would have been a good one. He's skiing, says Kenneth. Yeah, skiing. Oh, of course he is, mate. Hold on. I don't care. He's not there. Gary's got Melassiad. He's going to be the side of a milk carton, missing. Anyway, I thought that was quite funny. It's going to be a slightly different show here today. There isn't anything that's like a major standout talking point. So it's more like a reflection on a couple of things that I want to speak about. This one here, I laughed at quite a lot, really. So the accounts, I believe, anyway, the accounts, I don't know whether it's all football teams' accounts, but June 30th is the deadline. So it must be like June to June is the accounting year for a football club. So if Chelsea were to sell any players, or Nottingham Forest, or Everton, or any team were to sell any players before June the 30th, it would count on this year's accounts. Therefore, it would affect the PSR and affect the profit and loss. But reports are suggesting that, so Euro 2012, I think, starts on June the 12th, if I'm right. And I think the last game of the season is May the 19th. Thereabouts. So you've got 3 and a bit weeks. It could be carnage in those 3 and a bit. Typically, with Manchester United, certainly in these last few years, I remember last May, there was a lot of a lot of noise about players, but nothing really happened. And it's funny to think that Chelsea, Newcastle, and Everton and Forest will be panicking around trying to sell everybody. Euro 2020. Who cares? Euro 2024. Go away. Anyway, I just like the idea that they are going to be panicking hard, trying to flock. Who wants to buy Conor Gallagher? Come on, somebody. Who wants to buy Jared Branthwaite? Well, I know a team who wants to buy Jared Branthwaite. But it's really quite funny. Just made me laugh. This week, of course, is international. Oh, man, I'm potato. There you go. I'm a potato. Every time I say a big butter, you just give to 10 memberships, dude. Love you, man.
I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell.
I can't promise because I always bloody forget. But I really want to update these just so I get variety of them. As much as I love you, Fergie. Big up to you, dude. All in a day's potatoing. We always have this conversation. What's your favourite potato? Man, I love a hash brown. But it's got to be, is it chips or crisps? I think I'll probably choose crisps. Honestly, I need to go to like Crisps Anonymous. I've got a problem. I can't leave a pack of crisps in a cupboard. They have to get consumed. Right. Let's have a conversation here about the international break. These are the players that, and as much as I love the fact that Kobby Mainoo has been called up to the England squad. I worry about what Gareth Southgate is going to do to him, and I'll speak about that next. But I suppose I'm excited about the international break because I'm going to be getting to watch Kobby Mainoo play for England now. These are the players who are involved, and we'll be watching them. But I hope this is as close as Gareth Southgate ever gets to Kobby Mainoo. All right. And Kobby was speaking in a couple of interviews. He was explaining how Gareth Southgate told him the role that he wanted him to play during this international break. Who are England playing? Are they playing Brazil at Wembley? I can't remember who else. Who else are England playing? I mean, Brazil at Wembley. Everyone's going. There's a full-on potato chat going on in the comments right now. Is it Belgium? They're 2 pretty decent friendlies then. Man, Kobby Mainoo tearing it through the midfield of Brazil. Woo! That'd be nice to watch. Although I don't. Type it in the comments. Type yes or no. Do you think that Kobby Mainoo will start either game? I suppose that's exactly what friendlies are for, right? Friendlies are there for you to. Well, it's a free hit, isn't it? To a certain degree. Obviously, with the Euros coming up, there's an opportunity to play out the team that you expect to play in the Euros. Majority of you are saying no. You're going to say that he's going to be starting. Oh, mate, if Jordan Henderson starts for England, and I'll be honest, I absolutely predict it. I really do think Jordan Henderson will start for England, which is just a travesty. Anyway, Gareth Southgate. But Kobby Mainoo was speaking about what he wants to do this summer. He goes, "It would be an honour for me to make the plane. That's the end goal for the season, to get into the squad for Euro 2024. But obviously, I've got to focus on club football in the meantime. Hopefully, that'll figure itself out. There's a lot of time in between now and then." Boop, boop. Little car horn outside. Very nice. Must be listening to the show. I don't expect Kobby Mainoo to start either of them. But I think he could get a fair amount of minutes. He's got to try him. Otherwise, what's the point? There would be no point bringing Kobby Mainoo into this squad unless he's just doing it to, I don't know. No, he's not doing it to sort of keep people happy. He's doing it because Kobby Mainoo is a ridiculous talent. And the only way you're going to test that in the England environment before the Euros is playing. Are these the last international games before Euro 2024? These two friendlies. I think that, I'm guessing they must be. Other than this, it will be the end of the season when they go for like a week before the Euros start, when they train together. I'm guessing these are the last two fixtures, right? So Kobby Mainoo has to get some minutes. Surely. And that'll be exciting. That will be exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Let me say it. Chris, you're saying, want to see Kobby next to Rice and behind Bellingham. Man, that is a midfield trio. I think I spoke about this, was it yesterday or the day before? We've seen some incredible midfielders come through this England setup for a long, long time. And it's never, in my eyes, when you look at the profile, and maybe I'm looking into profiles too much. Maybe I'm looking into data and stats too much and blah, blah, blah. But I don't think a trio I've seen on paper complements each other better than the idea of Mainoo, Rice and Bellingham. Interested to know if anybody follows England in the comments properly. What would you say has been the best midfield setup that you've seen England play with? If you're going back to Gerrard and Lampard and Barry, that really work? What was it in Euro 2020? Was that Calvin? I swear Calvin Phillips was starting in those games. And Declan Rice. I can't remember who else. Jonesy, you're saying, how many games does a player have to play to be tied to a nation? It is just one. As soon as you make your debut for your nation, that's it. Done. Mason Mount, was he starting there? Don't know. Phillips, Rice and Henderson. I think that's probably what it was. Just say that. Say that and compare it. Phillips, Rice and Henderson to Mainoo, Rice and Bellingham. Man, that is like trading in your Fiat and getting a Ferrari. That is a ridiculously different team, both in technical quality, just in and out of possession. Anyway, I'm looking forward to watching him, right? But let's move on to a conversation which we've had earlier this week, and more in the videos that I've done. I think we spoke about this in the live show once. Wayne saying, I don't think friendlies count. Can someone let me know in the comments? I thought that if you made an international appearance, does it have to be in a competitive game? I don't know. I don't know whether it does, but I can't confirm or deny. Lots of people saying it has to be a competitive game. Well, that doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that a friendly is a cap. And as soon as you get a cap, that's it, you're tied. No, it's definitely 1,000,000%. Because David Beckham's got like what? He's got like 120 caps for England. He has not played 120 games at just World Cups and Euros. It's 100% outside of it as well. I suppose it does qualifying. Who cares? I don't really care that much about international football. But I do now that Kobby Mainoo's involved. Anyway, let's speak about transfers, okay? I did my video yesterday on this, and this is the shift in policy from Jim Ratcliffe. And it's a shift in policy that we've all been screaming from the rooftops. Do you know how hilarious it is in YouTube comments? One person screaming with absolute confidence that friendlies don't count, and two people screaming with absolute confidence that friendlies do count. It is what it is. I can't research Master on Live. We'll find out after. But this strategy shift is so necessary. Tyler, you're saying this should have been done years ago, and it should have been done so long ago. It's never really worked out before. Rob, you're saying we didn't have a policy before. Well, we did have a policy. It was scouting for Manchester United previously must have been so easy because all you have to do is go out, look at the most expensive 3-4 players in each position in the world, and we'll go out and we'll sign one of them. We don't have to do any scouting if we'll just go out and sign the ready-made ones. And it's never worked out for us. It's why we've spent, and I've said this so many times, spending money hasn't actually been the biggest problem under the Glazers at all. It's who's been spending it. It's what we've been spending it on. It's just been irresponsibly spent. And we're paying the price for it now. So this shift towards discovering talent, signing younger players, I'll make a prediction now. In fact, I want to pull this up here quickly. I forgot to pull this up here. Man United transfer history. I don't think they've got the ages on here, though. No, they don't. Right. Let's pull this up here because I want to make a prediction. Which I don't really think is that too bold a prediction. I don't think Manchester United will sign a player over the age of... we might do with one. We might get one experienced striker, actually. That might be a bit of a fib. But it feels like, in theory, we won't sign anybody over the age of 25. And pardon me. I think I might be wrong in that. Now that I've said that, I think I might be wrong in that because I think we might actually sign an experienced striker. But other than that, we're going to be looking younger. And that's... you're all still talking about whether friendlies count in the comments. I'm pretty sure friendlies count. All right, we'll find out after the show. Let's talk about transfers now, right? We're moving on. And I spoke through it yesterday, okay? I spoke through a list that Steve helped me run through. And this was the complete list, right? We took a look at four positions, right? Right centre-back, left centre-back, left-back, and central midfielder. And we looked at a premium player for that position, a sort of a mid-range signing for that position, and maybe somebody that not that many people are talking about that could be signed for that position. And you kind of see where United might previously have looked towards and where United... Now, this is not a definitive list, all right? And this is absolutely down to opinions, interpretations, and stop going on about him. You sound like you've got some sort of affair going on with Max Vifer. Vifer, sort knows. Very much in the same sort of category as Hjulmand, and it's basically you can go whichever one you want. It really doesn't matter. All right? Let's not pretend it does. But if you look at this, so this is not what I'm saying is going to be Manchester United's starting 11 next season. So let's not go crazy. Because people are going to be going, whoa, who the hell was Dorgu? First of all, where's Luke Shaw? You're not playing Lisandro Martinez. I mean, just loads of people just getting angry in the comments, right? What Manchester United need to win the Champions League in the Premier League is 2 top-level players in every single position, all right? 2. Which means we need another left centre-back who, if Martinez is gone, can slot straight in, or maybe is fighting him for that position. So I put Branthwaite in. You can see Branthwaite's down in my red list. Personal opinion, I think if United are going to spend big on any signing this summer, my prediction is that it would be Jared Branthwaite. And interestingly enough, I'm not sure if you watched the Muppeteers video I said with James. This is sort of what I came up with and sort of what I went through. And I was like, Todibo, Branthwaite and Hulmand, right? And you go over here and he ran through his... I didn't even realise he was doing this. Kind of running through what his information is telling him about the signings and X, Y, Z. And look, you've got Hulmand there. You've got Branthwaite there. You've got Todibo there. I was like, go on then. Nice interpretation. But I'm happy that the owner of our club, like the owner of the football operations of our club, say what you want, has actually been very clear on our strategy. Why on earth are you still talking about friendlies in the comments? People, move on. Or I'm just not going to look at the comments. Seriously. But it's... I know that we don't have Dan Ashworth in, right? And as it stands, there's not really been an update on that in a while. I'm just personally expecting at some point, boom, Ashworth news comes out. There's not really been a conversation about the head of recruitment. We heard about Dougie Freedman. And I've got a deep dive prepared. I'm not going to record the deep dive, but we got the research prepared on Dougie Freedman about what he's done, exactly who he is, what it's like to work with him, how he finds and signs players. And also we're going to do one potentially on Carl McCauley, who I believe is he chief scout at Chelsea. He's now at Chelsea. He went there, I believe, with Graham Potter, and he worked at Brighton before, and that's where Dan Ashworth links are. Two potential head of recruitments, but again, no real movement on either of them. But regardless of the fact that we don't have, or Jason Wilcox, of course, could be another one. Technical director, I believe, at no. Is he sporting director at Southampton now? I think he is. Anyway, point is this. We don't have a sporting director in place just yet. We don't have a head of recruitment in place just yet. But we have the man at the very top being very clear on what the strategy is. It's not like Ratcliffe and Brailsford and Barada, we're all sitting there waiting, like hands crossed and folded, like, well, I've got no idea what we're doing in the summer. Looking forward to Dan Ashworth and a head of recruitment coming in so they can tell us what we're going to be doing. The message is clear from the very top. We are going to be signing younger players. We are going to be discovering talent, finding the next Mbappe rather than signing Mbappe. And it's a fine line that United have to walk here, because we can't, as much as we look on with envious eyes at what Benfica have done over these last, however many years, just an incredible transfer policy. The amount of times they strike gold is ridiculous. And Brighton have done it very well as well. Truth be told, there's far less scrutiny at Brighton. There's far less scrutiny at Benfica. And there is an ability for them to bed in without the need to deliver immediately. So from an environment perspective, it's a safer environment for those kind of semi-risky types of signings. Like Caicedo, for example, is a player that was completely on our radar. Scouts had showed him to the club. But Man United decided, no, we need somebody who's more ready-made. Who did we sign instead of Caicedo? I mean, it was an absolute fumble, like a double fumble. And that comes down to the actual vision of the sporting director and the head of recruitment to say, no, I trust this individual. But as you're saying down there, there's an actual plan in place here, people, right? And this is something that, hand on heart, I don't think we could say about Manchester United going into a transfer window for so long. We could all have our opinions on, this is the player I think we need to sign. These are the players I think we need to sell. I hope United can get their business done early and we can sit there with our feet up on deadline day. That's kind of how we've approached, as far as I know, every time I've gone into the transfer window in the last few years, probably longer than a few years, that's what I've expected of Man United. Well, hoped. Expectations are very different. But now I'm going in and I know what United are looking for. And there's quite a lot of players you can rule out as a consequence. And maybe that's going to be a lot of these big name signings. I think Antonio Silva, I think the right centre-back market is so... I don't know if I said this in a video, but I tried to. The right centre-back position is so competitive. There's so many good options there that I don't think United are going to go for the premium. João Neves, I think, would be incredible. Right? The more I've watched of him, the more I've been impressed. I thought his stature would rule him out at one point, but I just don't think that's the case anymore. But he would be north of 100 mil. And we can't afford that this summer. It's just simply put, we can't afford that. Prediction is that if we're going to be spending 60 plus mil on any player, I think we do it on Jared Branthwaite. But at the very least, we have got a strategy. And I think that makes a big difference. Certainly makes me more confident about what United are going to do this summer. Just don't know whether we're going to be able to afford what we want. Emmanuel was saying, Sam, what do you think about the whole Southgate to United thing? I think this will undo all the good work Ineos has done to this point. Emmanuel, I spoke about this yesterday. And unfortunately, it's just pure nonsense, dude. Right? It's just pure nonsense. It's just something that's been put out, just a little like grenade into the press, because they know that United fans are going to be so angry about the concept of it, they're going to speak about it. They know that rival fans are going to be so excited by the idea of Gareth Southgate to United that they're going to talk about it. It's low-hanging fruit bollocks. And these are the things that I hope that United fans, I hope that's something that this platform does, is helps United fans just look at news maybe with a little bit more scrutiny. Rather than just seeing a headline, absorbing it and reacting, you look at a headline, you go, where's that come from? And instead of reacting just immediately, you do a little tiny bit of digging and you go, that's not worth my time. Move on. That's something that I hope that United People's TV kind of teaches in a way. Not in a condescending way, but just to look at stuff a little bit differently. I hope so anyway. I'm going to go down and read a few of your comments out down here. See what you're saying. Erik to Bayern Munich rumours. I personally don't think... I think I said, must have been a few weeks ago, it felt like at this moment in time that Erik Ten Hag is looking unlikely to be Manchester United manager next season. And I've made it abundantly clear that only he can sort of change the direction of that. And doing that against Liverpool was a massive step. It wasn't just an FA Cup quarter-final for Erik Ten Hag. To win in the fashion that we won that game, it goes to show this team is really playing for that manager, man. Now, there are some big old tactical holes, in the approach, which only Erik can really resolve in the coaching and the setup of the team. But the manner of that win was massive. And now we've got, Brentford, Chelsea and Liverpool within the space of 7 days after the international break. Brentford away, Chelsea away and Liverpool at home. Imagine that, right? It's not impossible to think that Brentford are really kind of not even up and down team. They've been more like a mid-table team recently. I swear. If we can go away to Brentford and beat them, if we can go and get a result against Chelsea, and imagine doing a double over Liverpool in the FA Cup and the league, that's a massively galvanising... Look, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. The way that we've been playing this season, it probably won't. But I really enjoyed that Liverpool game. I really, really enjoyed... And remember, by the way, that a certain Lisandro Martinez is going to be back after the international break. Add him into the fact that Kobby Mainoo has really broken through into this team now. The fact that Rasmus Højlund is now back and fit. The fact that Diogo Dalot is playing... In my opinion, I think Diogo Dalot is playing as good as any right back in the league this season. I really think he's been at that level. I just hope, and I said this last time, I've said this a few times now, I hope that the end of this season can be dramatically different to the end of last season. Last season, we peaked in the League Cup final. And from that point on, it was like a downward slope. It just kind of got progressively worse and worse. United we didn't have any sort of good form, really. And the season properly like petered out. It was like... Whereas now, that game against Liverpool it can be galvanising. It should be. It has to be galvanising. And if it is, and we go and we've got 3 games within a week, and we've got Brentford away and we get a result, Chelsea away and we get a result, boy, then we go against Liverpool. And imagine we do the double on Liverpool in the Klopp's goodbye. We haven't really had much to shout about when it's been playing Liverpool. Not in a long time. Sam Man, you're saying you can't start watching replays of the game. I'm Potato and Gungshi, my dons, gifting 5 memberships each.
I can't believe it. I can't believe
Thank you, dude.
Football, bloody
And
hell.
unbelievably, you're disagreeing with me and saying that we peaked against Barca instead. I've never seen that before. I've never seen you disagree with me. Is there anything you agree with me on? I don't know. I just... Now, look, speaking about Erik Ten Hag, speaking about Manchester United, it's the perfect little segue into this, right? Bruno Fernandes, unfortunately, he's not getting a rest during this international break. I was hoping after that game against Liverpool, mate, he was like half a leg, 0.25% of a hamstring. Bruno was on fumes at the end of that game. And I was hoping, good, we might see Bruno Fernandes actually, get a little bit of a rest. But no, Bruno's a bit of a psycho. He's like a football psycho. He has to play. He constantly wants to play. Anyway, he's gone out on the international break and he's been speaking. He's actually had a really in-depth interview where he's spoken about Manchester United, both in the identity of United and in how Erik Ten Hag has set us up to play. And there's some really kind of interesting points I want to run through that he speaks about here. He goes, look, this isn't going to be a perfect translation. It's a Google translation from a Portuguese article, right? And a Portuguese interview. So I appreciate that. The construction of the game is not due to the defence, the midfield, or the attack because it is often done by several moments, several components necessary. If we have transition players, it ends up being difficult for them to become players in possession. We have to be aware that in our team, the wingers and strikers, probably excluding Martial, who, by the way, is alive. All right? Stop the search. No, of course, he's injured and Martial is a Manchester United player, but Martial isn't a Manchester United player. He's just seeing out a contract and has been seeing out a contract on 250 grand a week for a long old time. Anyway, back to the interview. Martial, who likes to come to look for the game, look for the ball, more of a striker with the ball at his feet. We're more of a counter player, attack, offensive transition, more with the ball in depth, more with that than with the ball at his feet. A little bit confusing there. What I want to do on this, right, is this. I think this is going to be a really interesting little... Let's give like 5-10 minutes to have this chat, right, as a community. What is Manchester United's identity? You know the videos that I've been doing, the meta videos, I call them meta videos, the sort of storytelling narrative videos. I'd love to do one on what is Manchester United's identity because I just don't think it's that. I don't think it's as easy to define as the question sort of makes you think. What do you associate with Manchester United's identity? I'm going to put down what you write in the comments here, right? Milk, you've put down something that I personally agree with. Wing play. Really wide wing play. I actually do think that's quite a big part of it. I'm just going to write down everything that's being fired into the comments here and I'll see what you say. Counter-attacking. Mainoo, you're saying intensity. Ankit, you're saying transitional. Direct football. Jonesy, you're saying youth development. Attacking with pace, transition, inverted fullbacks. Imagine saying that United's identity is inverted fullbacks. Fergie would be like, excuse me, Paul. I'll see if there's anything else being said down there. Swashbuckling play. I'm not writing that down. Youth. Lots of you saying youth. Lots of you saying attacking play. Of course. Now, John, you're writing that down there. I genuinely think that is part of United's identity. But you know one thing, right? Entertainment. Is that part of an identity? I don't know. Right, so that's what you've all been saying in the comments down there, right? Let's make that a little bit bigger so you can see it properly. There you go, right? One thing about Manchester United's identity, which I think is really important, is that it's not as easy to define as Barcelona. It's not as easy to define as Ajax. The reason I'm using those two examples is because, and I think are they both influenced by Cruyff? I think they are. Obviously, Ajax in the 70s, incredible team. That Cruyffian style of play. Intricate, possession, triangles, moving the ball around. And effectively, that's kind of what Barcelona is as well. And I'm pretty sure they're both sort of linked to the Cruyff style of play. And we know that Barcelona, it's tiki-taka, isn't it? It's possession-based. It's quick movement. Both of them are really the identity of Barcelona and the identity of Ajax are both directly linked to a style of play. Like a formation, 4-3-3. Not just 4-3-3, but really like a real clear style. I don't think that applies to Manchester United. I don't think you can possibly say, if you're going to go classic Fergie, you're going 4-4-2. If you're going to go, my favourite football I've watched at United was always under Carlos Queiroz. Well, not under Carlos Queiroz, but that bit where 2006, 2009, we went to 4-3-3. Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, Berbatov into that. I don't think you can link a style of play with Manchester United's identity. I think it's more in the characteristics. If I was going to say one that I would say with utter confidence, it's that. It's really traditional wingers. It's having, and that's what Garnacho has really done so well this season. Receiving the ball maybe about 10, 15 yards away from the defender and then just running at them with pace, because they're the players that make you shuffle towards the front of your seat in the stadium. They're the ones that make you stand up and get you excited. Traditional wing play, I think, is a big part of Manchester United's identity. So, Man City, for example, the complete opposite. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, they've got inverted wingers, if you want to use the right term. They cut inside a lot of the time. I don't link that with Manchester United. Other than that, it feels like so much of Manchester United's identity is linked to up there. Is linked to your mentality and your approach to the game, like the intensity of the football. Of course, it's not counter-attack. It's more. I'm going to take that one out because I think and this is what Erik ten Hag has done, and this is what Bruno is speaking about here, right? He's talking about players on the transition. Erik ten Hag spoke about it at the start of the season, saying, "I want Manchester United to become the best transition team in the world." That was his ambition this season. And that's why he decided to go so aggressive with 2 number 8s. And he just believed that Casemiro could cover all that space on their own. And he couldn't. I don't even want Mainoo to do that. I think he got that part wrong. I think the physicality and the quality of teams now, if you really just play with 2 aggressive number 8s, like Erik ten Hag could do that at Ajax in the Eredivisie, because the difference between Ajax and the teams below was, well, significantly different now. But he was overzealous, I think, in the approach this season, and I don't think we've ever really come away with it. But this is why I think it's so important to do an actual video on this. Like, what is Manchester United's identity? Because so many people speak about it, and so many people say it. But I don't think there's ever probably been like a definitive answer, because I think it's an extremely hard question to answer. That's what I think. So anyway, I'm going to read some of your comments out down here. Chidi, you sent a super chat. Thank you, dude. Saying, I think Gary Neville and the rest of the guys said Fergie used to be a chancer, being brave and just going for it. Less methodical, more attack. Now, to feed off what you said there, let's put up this little clip. I was gonna put us up earlier, but I forgot. But now I will. Right?
The word that...
Oh, spoiler. Have a listen to this. This is Gary Neville and Fergie speaking, right? About the approach in games, especially when you're losing.
I always remember you referring to in team
That's a bit loud. One sec.
talks was risk.
You're down 1-0 with 15 minutes to go. What's the point in sitting with your back four, your regular midfield, and 2 strikers? What's the point in it? The risk is shove people in the box because the other team react to that. You shove 3 and 4 in the box, get the ball in there. That's the risk because you can lose the breakaway, the counter attack quite easily, and we lost games that way. But the value is you score in the last minute, or injury time. Remember the dressing room? It was electric, absolute electric. The fans are going home. They can't wait to get to the pub to talk about. They can't wait to go home and tell their wife and their kids what it was like at Old Trafford to score in the last minute. That's the value. And if you're playing for our club, that risk should always be there. There's no point in flapping about in the midfield with a few passes and no taking the risk of getting the ball in the box. Because you're not going to score for 40 yards. I know one.
So I think that's quite an important word there. From the man himself. Risk. Risk reward. You can't get rewards if you don't take a risk. I think that's quite an important part of it. And that is what made Manchester United so ridiculously dangerous and what teams were always scared of against United. The fear factor came from that consistent ability and desire to take a risk. And I would say that's probably quite an important part of it. Yeah, Joe, like, that was what made Louis van Gaal's style of football so painful. And I honestly still put that down as the worst football that we have played post-Fergie, and I'll be surprised if anybody ever beats it. I don't care what happened under Ralph Rangnick. I don't care what happened under Mourinho or even Moyes. That period, I think there was I took my dad to one of the games. I got like hospitality with like Heineken or something. It was quite nice actually. And we played PSV and it was 0-0. And I think the week before or the week after, I swear we drew against Norwich 0-0. And there was like a 6-7 game period. In fact, I can probably pull it up here, where we scored like 2 goals. Let's have a look. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. In fact, my memory is absolutely spot on. I'm about to make you all sick, so can you please all get a bucket? This is the worst we have ever played post-Fergie, and it will never, ever be beaten. Right? Oh, we didn't even draw. Oh, did we beat Norwich? Oh, no, I think we beat Norwich 1-0 away. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games of football, and there was 1 goal. 10 games of oh man, I knew it was the worst. I knew it was the worst. That right there. Anyway, going back to what Fergie said there, and that element of risk. Lots of clean sheets, says Stephanie. One way of looking at it. No, Sandman, legitimately, I'm pretty sure that was consecutive games. I swear that was. As I said, it was. I remember PSV being kind of sandwiched around a Norwich game. I think that was. And ladies and gents, no matter what you think about Erik ten Hag's football, all right, that right there is what we've had before. And that risk approach. And that is the risk approach. And maybe that's what made United fans, like, right, when you write this down and you look about what the identity is, and you look at that game of football, nobody gave a toss that Maguire was up front, or Bruno was playing centre-back, or Anthony was playing left-back. In fact, we all actively encouraged it because we could see that instead of just accepting that we were going to lose the game 3-2 and go, well, we might sneak a winner at the end, we said, sod that. I'd rather lose the game 4-2 than just tepidly walk towards a 3-2 defeat, just in case I might be able to get that chance. And we got that chance, and we got 2 chances, and we won the game. Chaos? No, I don't think that's part of United's identity. It is right now. That is part of United's modern identity. But I don't want it to be part of our overall identity. I just thought that was a really interesting chat from Bruno. I actually thought that was a really interesting chat there. I should do that more often. It's cool to actually properly listen to what you write in the comments and put it down on here. But that is, I really want to do a video on that because I think it's the biggest criticism of Erik ten Hag, and it's the biggest question that's asked to a lot of United fans. Go, what is your identity? How do you want United to play? I think I've half written the video there. Anyway, if anybody's watching and you haven't dropped a like on the video, can you please drop a like on the video? Ah! Oh, terrifying. Terrifying. Anyway, I want to move on to have a little tiny conversation here about a player who, again, I spoke earlier this week about how angry some United fans were at Zidane Iqbal being sold, at how Charlie Savage was sold, at how James Garner was sold. And I don't think there's been anybody more angry. I don't think there's been any youth transfer that's been done than Alvaro Fernandes that people have been more angry about. Let's take a look at what the Portuguese press are reporting about his transfer so far. This is from Sport Witness. They're writing about Benfica's issues on the left-back position, right? And they say this. Correo de Mania claims he has been taking too long to convince. He's got 10 appearances so far, most of them as a late substitute. And look, they've been preferring to use a midfielder adapted to left-back rather than using Alvaro Fernandes. And right now, they are unlikely to use their €6 million buy option to get him at the end of the season. So this is a player who so many United fans were furious that left. Because a lot of United fans have it in their head that every single youth player is going to become a first-team star at Manchester United. The fact that they're not going to take that 6 mil option, yeah, good, I'm taking that. I'm looking at Manchester, and I'll be perfectly honest, I look at Harry Amass and I'm thinking, man, that guy's got something. That guy really, really is above what he's like. But also, what I would say with Alvaro Fernandes is how impressive he was on loan at Preston. Like a full season. The chaos at left back this season is it's bad, man. It's really bad. Erik, I wouldn't just say he's a winger and can't defend. I think that's unfair. I think he's actually a decent enough left back. Is he good enough to be starting for Manchester United? I wouldn't put him on the same level as Kobby Mainoo or Alejandro Garnacho. But I just wanted to give that little update in saying that right now, his loan spell at Benfica isn't going to the level that maybe everybody would have expected. And he may well come back because they might not take that €6 million option to sign him. Now, we've been spoilt because we've had Garnacho come through and Mainoo come through. I'm telling you, people, that is rare. I mean, you know it's rare. To have players of that quality come through in consecutive years is a madness. And I spoke about who we maybe see coming through next year, but somebody that we will hopefully see coming through at some point is Shea Lacey. Manchester Evening News reporting that he's going to be signing his first professional contract in a few weeks. Of course, he's 16. You can only sign your first professional contract when you are 17. So presumably, Shea Lacey's birthday is coming up and they're going, yeah, he'll probably sign it. Let's have a look. Shea Lacey, 14th of April. Well, there you go. His birthday, quite literally, is in a couple of weeks. So he may well be signing that first professional contract, and I think he will. And he's definitely one to watch but he's only just about to turn 17. All right. Shea Lacey hasn't even had a full season with the under-18s yet. And our under-18s are littered with quality. I predict that we'll see Harry Amas. I did say Shea. Shea Lacey? Shea Lacey? Anyway, Shea. Shea. Right? There you go. That's why I did my academy video. It wasn't... Sometimes I can go over the top. All right? Hands in the air. Guilty. Guilty as charged. I overhyped Amrabat. Problem. I stand by what I said about Onana, by the way. And I actually think Onana's had a pretty impressive season if you take away the Champions League. Champions League, he was awful. But in the league, I think he's just getting more and more commanding. Seeing him consistently coming out for crosses. Bueno. Anyway. But Amrabat, I was wide of the mark. And let's be completely honest. So I've learnt that. I'm learning. I'm probably going to make some more. I say probably. I'm definitely going to make some mistakes. James Wilson. We are not allowed to mention James Wilson. It's my darkest moment. Anyway, Shea Lacey, hopefully going to be signing his first professional contract. Harry Amas coming through. Then you got Jack and Tyler Fletcher. You've got Jace Fitzgerald in midfield. You've got Gabriel Bianchetti up front. You've got missing. There's a few players who look like they could make it, and maybe are ready. But I don't think there's any that stand out in the same way that Kobby stood out, in the same way that Alejandro stood out. That's just my personal take. But let's find out. Now, the reason James Wilson's been held up as an example is because come on, you know the story by now. I think I once said that we shouldn't sign Harry Kane because it would stunt James Wilson's growth. Yeah, that's my worst take ever. Anyway, I thought that was actually a really fun show. I apologise to everyone on Facebook that I didn't see your comments today. Everything was set up properly, all connected, all good. Start streaming. No, doesn't connect. Thanks very much. But anyway, it worked on YouTube. So thank you for tuning in. I really enjoyed that. Maybe we should do that more often. Kind of get an idea and a question. You can fire it in the comments. What can we do next time? Stephanie, 25 likes away from 400. If you can, then drop a like on the video. It makes a big, big difference. Amir Ibrahimov, yeah, he's class. How old is he? Is he just about... I think he's just turned 16. Or is he 15 still? Mate. Bloody hell. We got some players coming through. Teresa, indeed, crisps are king. They're my kryptonite. Kind of want some crisps now. Big up to all of you. Hope you enjoyed the show. It was nice and interactive. I'll be here tomorrow. It's Friday. We'll get the map up. We'll hopefully get a giveaway done. I'm sitting here with so much stuff I need to give away. Not need to give away. So much stuff I want to give away. Big up, everybody. Thank you all for gifting memberships. I'm Bateo, Gungshi, all of you lads. And I'll see you soon.